Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the US PAC On Time Courier podcast. My name is Kate Wiles, IC Compliance and Engagement Specialist here at US PAC. Whether you're out on the road, taking a break, or just tuning in to stay connected, we're glad to have you with us. This podcast is your space to stay informed, engaged, and inspired as a US PAC independent contractor. We've got a great episode lined up for you today, including a fantastic guest who's joining us to share some really valuable insight. You won't want to miss it. And remember, we always want to hear from you. If you have questions, feedback, or ideas for topics you'd like us to cover, send us an email at driverexperienceteam@gouspac.com. That's driverexperienceteam@gouspac.com. Your input helps us shape this podcast to better serve you. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
All right, everybody. We are extremely fortunate this month to have uh, a guest with us that many of you have probably spoken to, or you may not have even know you were working with him, but he was helping you get on board here at US PAC, and that is Patrick Cardwell, who is our Senior Procurement Specialist. Patrick, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me here, Kevin.
Absolutely, man. It's with your knowledge, I always tell everybody Patrick's kind of the guru of the procurement sourcing process. He knows it inside out. And to this day, when I have questions, I'm turning to Patrick. So he's a world of knowledge, and we're real fortunate to have him on with us today. So Patrick, kind of, if you don't mind, start out by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, absolutely. I appreciate that, Kevin. Thanks for the kind words. And so I actually joined US PAC in 2016. Very exciting stuff. Originally from Florida, Central Florida area. I was born in Lakeland, grew up in Orlando. Then I actually went out to college at Arizona State, studied communications. Then after graduation, came back here and was looking for work. And I actually got into doing my own independent contracting. Not specifically with logistics, but independent contracting on my own, starting my own business. I was actually inspecting cars for online auctions. So that kind of transitioned to where I then kind of got the role there with US PAC there, and came aboard. Had a little prior knowledge there just with the automotive industry and cars, but not specifically with the deliveries. So I would say a lot of that knowledge that you kind of praised me on earlier is definitely from, a lot of my time here and learning from a lot of great people within the company as well.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for going through that. And I know at the time we're recording this, now our contractors won't see this for a while, but at the time we're recording this, it's a pretty special time for hockey in the state of Florida, is it not?
Oh, that's right. I don't know, guys, if you know this, but the Stanley Cup, it goes through the state of Florida. I know that might hurt a lot of our northern friends up north, but the last 5-6 years, either Tampa Bay or Florida has been in the Stanley Cup Finals. So we're excited. We got a Stanley Cup final match tonight. And that's going to be exciting. Two great teams. If you're into sports, definitely check it out. I think lots of sports fans just across from any field will say this. There's nothing like going to a live hockey game. So if you haven't checked one out, I mean, the TV experience is great, but if you can get there live in person, that's where the magic happens.
That's awesome. I know Patrick's a huge hockey fan, so I thought I'd give him an opportunity to plug what the Florida team is doing down there at the moment. So hopefully they pull through for you. So, um, Patrick, with your knowledge, as you're working with the final mile piece of the industry, such as we are, what do you think is unique about the sourcing that we do for that, or the type of work that we do that our independent contractors are asked to do?
Yeah, great question. So, I think it's very unique because with our final mile deliveries, everything's staying, typically centralized. All the drivers are home every day, nothing over the road. That's a big selling point. A lot of the contractors I talk to, are former, over the road truck drivers looking to, kind of get something more locally. They can spend more time with their families and friends, nothing over the road for them. So I think that kind of specialized field with us, in the final mile, just getting deliveries there every day is really impactful in the local communities and, getting people, back at home where, I think most of us like to be.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, establishing those business relationships with new contractors, just joining the industry, helping them through the process, understanding that they're growing their own business. A lot of independent contractors, do come in with lots of experience, but a lot of them are, first timers as well. So, they're learning the ropes. And, I've seen drivers start off, just getting contracted with us, just with their own car. And, a few years later, they got subcontractor drivers and sometimes even a fleet of vehicles that they're doing multiple deliveries, for multiple customers for us. So, that's another great thing for us.
It is, and thank you for touching on that. We discussed the ability to grow into becoming a master contractor here a few times on the podcast. So I'm glad that you touched on with your expertise, giving us your angle on it. And again, I would remind anybody listening, if you're a current contractor here and you're interested in what it may take to become a master contractor, reach out to your local field representative. They can go through the different requirements and nuances to becoming a master contractor, so you can decide if it's a good thing for you and your business. So thank you for touching on that. um, from a sourcing perspective, Patrick, as we have opportunities available, right? So as we're looking to find contractors for the opportunities, what are what are some of the criteria you're looking at, or some of the requirements we have to look at in order to do that type of thing?
Yeah, thanks. Great question, Kevin. So, in regards to that, there's kind of two kind of preliminary factors we're looking at. First is the equipment type. We have a wide variety of customers that use, multiple vehicle types for, different deliveries, anything from, small cars all the way up to 26-foot box trucks, sprinkle in all the other vehicle types in between. Almost any other, vehicle type you really have, we probably have something, with a customer in an area utilizing that vehicle. So that's kind of, number one, do you have the right equipment for the customer? A lot of times it's, not understanding the product is going to be delivered every day. It needs to be in, an environmental friendly, like, can't be just hidden by the elements out there in the back of pickup trucks. Sometimes, need covered pickups for certain things. Larger items need bigger vehicles as well. Some of the customers have large loads that are, making multiple deliveries through the day versus, other customers that got on demand stuff that's, kind of one shop stops for those. Our next kind of preliminary one would be location, right? Is the IC in a great location, for this opportunity? And that's really just determine how much extra driving, the IC is really going to have to, have before they start earning money for, with the customers, right? So if someone's having to drive an hour, it's probably not going to be, the best opportunity. One of the main expenses, I believe, for the independent contractors is fuel consumption for them. So adding extra miles to already doing deliveries to the day, might not, benefit or, be profitable for that contractor. So that might, be another reason why, someone isn't reached out to as well if, they're just not in the right location. Um,
Got it.
I'll say some other things we're looking for, when we're speaking with the contractors, engagement, communication, are some of the biggest things that, I'm looking for when I'm speaking to a contractor. A lot of times we're having, quick, 8 to, 15-minute conversations with people trying to, understand where they are, what they're looking for, what the expectations are, just making sure everything's clear with them. And I think, when that level of engagement is up for them, they're going to be successful, in whatever role, if this is a good fit or not. Obviously being professional. I would say experience helps too, for the ICs that do come in with experience. Contractors, but even for the new ones, you have a passion for service. Same day logistics is going to be, the industry for you.
Awesome. Thank you for going through that. And, as you were talking about that, I was thinking about, a couple of different things as well. When you're talking location, it also kind of depends on what the type of opportunity it is as well, does it not?
Oh, absolutely. So, two of our, main type of deliveries are going to either be a dedicated route or on-demand deliveries. So, a dedicated route is going to have a certain specific launch time at a location versus on-demand that's going to depend on customer orders. Now, we are, up to date technology-wise. We do have applications on the phones that go directly to the drivers so they can be notified when those orders come through. But if you're expected to do pharmaceutical deliveries for residential homes, if it takes you an hour to get to the pharmacy, and certain medications might only have a certain shelf life that it needs to get to the patient, then that's not going to be the best fit for you. But we can utilize all types of locations, vehicles for certain situations. And with those types, I found contractors too, the individuals, they, a certain type of person either, is all for maybe the on demand deliveries and others are all for the dedicated. Just kind of, I think, depends a little bit on, their own availability, schedule, and kind of personality types too, and what they're looking for. But I think, we kind of hit a lot, spread a lot across the field with, those different types of deliveries.
Absolutely. No, thank you for going through that. And that was great stuff. Um, that's why I always encourage contractors. So we have our website where contractors can go to see all the opportunities we have available. Patrick, I'll let you throw out that website. Uh,
So it's gouspack.com /
yep.
contractors dash opportunities. You can
Awesome.
also access it directly from the website. There's a drop down. There's three little lines there. You select it, it'll say driver opportunities. It'll take you right there.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And the reason that's important is, that thing is updated lifetime in our system. And there are constantly, I would say multiple times a day, there are opportunities getting added, or maybe even those getting fulfilled to get removed from that. If you're interested in becoming a contractor at US Pack, and you go out and you look at those opportunities and maybe there isn't one there that might be a good fit for you, please keep checking that, because again, that thing is constantly with our large customer base, and we had the fact that we have customers throughout the country, it is constantly getting updated. So if you don't see one today that works for you, tomorrow there might be one that's a perfect fit for you and your business, right, Patrick?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always directing all the contractors to check back on the site. As you said, updated quickly, and if this opportunity might not be for them, we might have something in the near future to potentially partner with you on as well. As Kevin stated, we got a wide variety of customers, and opportunities do happen daily. Sometimes we're looking for one driver, so it just kind of varies. On the need and the customer and the opportunity. Sometimes we have routes that are going, 1 to 3 hours. Sometimes we got 8. So there's a wide variety of stuff and options for folks looking to start their own business.
Absolutely. That's great stuff. So, all right. So, good conversation started. We're going to take a pause here for a moment and pass it over to Liz Billis. She will talk about and give you our monthly safety message, because, again, nothing is more important at US Pack than each of you starting and ending your day as safely as possible. So, we'll pass it over to Liz, and Patrick and I will be right back to continue this discussion.
Thanks, Kevin, and thanks everyone for tuning into this month's podcast and safety message. As always, your safety on the road is our top priority. With road construction projects picking up in the warmer months, let's talk about staying safe in construction zones. First, slow down and stay alert. Construction zones often have reduced speed limits and unexpected changes in traffic patterns. Pay close attention to signs, cones, and flaggers that may be standing at the roadside. Second, maintaining a safe following distance, as sudden stops are common in construction zones, and leaving a little bit of extra space can help you react more safely. Also, watching for workers and equipment. Construction crews and vehicles may enter or exit the road unexpectedly, so always be prepared that you may have to stop. And last, if you're using a GPS for your route planning, check the construction updates before you hit the road. Planning ahead can help you avoid delays and stay safe in the long run. As always, thanks for your commitment to driving safely, especially in construction zones. Your attention and care keep everyone safe and keep the customer's cargo moving safely. Until next time.
All right, Liz, thank you for that message. We always want to make sure that we get that safety message out there to each of all of you every month. And again, safety is our priority here at US Pat. So I'm fortunate to still have Patrick Cardwell with us. Patrick is our senior procurement specialist in our sourcing team. And Patrick, one of the things that has we've talked about a few times has been the expansion and rapid growth of our healthcare and our life science vertical. Well, you are our dedicated team member that sources for those opportunities. So, really want to pick your brain for a few moments. Talk about some of those opportunities from sourcing, what type of stuff you're looking for, and what the differences may be between contractors who are looking to do something in the life science field compared to other types of industries.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, thanks. Great question. So, I believe one of the main difference there in sourcing for the healthcare vertical is that the contractors feel, I think, in a direct impact and responsibility and pride, to their local communities when, they're doing the medical deliveries and healthcare deliveries. They're providing medicines, pharmaceuticals, medical specimens that get tested on for, diagnosing patients. Right. That's directly going to impact people's lives. And you might think, oh, it's just a delivery driver taking it from A to B, but that can have, a great impact on someone's life. If, they were, feeling a certain way, all of a sudden that lab sample comes back that, the lab technician's able to identify this is the cause for it. Then, the right medications can go to that person. They start to feel better. Their life's improved. The contractor had a direct impact on that person's life. And I think that's one of the main reasons too, contractors, I think kind of gear a little bit more towards the healthcare. Sometimes I feel they might, want to go that route because it is helpful. I'd say another difference is probably package size. Typically, stuff with our healthcare customers, the packaging, for those deliveries is a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable, typically than some of our other customers. That would be a main thing. For a contractor looking to come on the healthcare side of the verticals, I would say, attention to detail is a big factor here. As I kind of stated before, it's not just taking it to A to B. It's making sure labels are correct, making sure everything's going to the right place. A contractor might have to make 25 deliveries, and if he picks up everything all at once, has to know, this package goes to this set location, this goes here. So I would say attention to detail. That's a big factor there to help the contractors out, and that keeps everything moving smoothly. Communication would be another big factor. And especially in the logistics industry, you hope everything runs smoothly, but, there are going to be, issues that pop up just with, daily life. Drivers are going through traffic. Anyone who's sat in traffic in, anywhere in the country really probably knows what I'm talking about. What thought you were going to take 15 minutes to get there now takes 30 minutes. But you make a call to a dispatcher, you let them know, the customer knows that product's going to be a little late because of maybe there was an accident on the road or whatever have you. One of our main things with our customers too, knowing where the packages are and when they're going to get there is a big thing. We're all people, we're all understanding things happen, right? But then when there's no communication, people are left to think what's going on. But having that great communication, seeing what's out there, knowing everything, the ins and outs for your day, that is very impactful for you.
Yeah, that's great advice. Good stuff. Also, along with that, so if we're talking life science division, which is again what your specialty is, we're hauling at times, like you said, some pretty specialized type of materials, things that make it could make an immediate impact in someone's life. There are additional requirements, are there not, Patrick, for contractors that want to get into the life science piece of the business? Could you speak about those a little bit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you're wanting to go into the life science verticals, there, one of the main ones is actually having a TSA certification or a TWIC card. Um, is a customer requirement for us. Some of the deliveries are even going directly from labs directly to the airports to get shipped out somewhere. So contractors are needing to be able to pass that background check for a TSA. Another benefit for the drivers though is when you come on for life science with us, you do get a TWIC card that also qualifies you to become TSA pre-check on all flights. So as anyone's been in an airport line, getting through that security line a little faster, faster, can make everyone's life a little easier. Some other things, some certifications required for certain customers. It varies. There's certain hazmat certifications for certain customers. We do have, for specific customers as well, online orientation modules for the contractors to complete. This just further helps the contractor understand the work they're going to do and gets them the necessary orientation materials that they need to be successful with those life science customers.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for going through that. And on that customer specific orientation, those are key. As Patrick said, those are designed specifically for the customers to give you the information you need to be successful at working in that vertical. So key pieces, and of course, as you go through that onboarding process, you have Patrick who's going to give you a helping hand with it. We also have other experts in the company in the TSA field and stuff that if you run into difficulty or have questions, we can certainly help guide you through that. So, but it's great, as Patrick said. There's other benefits to having those credentials and clearances, as well as giving you diverse opportunities, in your business. So, great. Thank you for going through that, Patrick. Again, thank you so much for being with us. It's not every day we get somebody with your level of expertise in business. So, knowledge here that can really help our contractors. Um, in summation, what recommendations or feedback or thoughts would you like to share with our contractors?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I would say, as you even kind of stated, one of the big points, be proactive, with opportunities. Things are always growing and changing in the logistics industry. New customers coming on board, new routes, new opportunities for you. Keep checking back on the website. Also, be professional, understanding. I kind of stated earlier, sometimes issues might happen, but it's how you're going to make those adjustments that will define your business, right?
Sure.
Understanding things will evolve and change. We live in a world that's constantly moving and evolving faster than maybe some of us would like or can even manage in sometimes, but being ready to adapt to those changes, knowing what's right for your business, growing it, be successful through the right partnerships for yourself. And, like I said, it's not just driving, picking up and dropping off, right? There's a lot more to it than that. And, you're really getting as much out of contracting with US PAC as you put into it. And if you give it your all, you're going to be real happy with the results.
That's awesome. That is great advice. So, Patrick, again, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your knowledge with our contractors, both current and potential. So, a little bit of everything in there for each of them. But again, thank you for that. And that will wrap up another edition of our On Time Courier podcast. For Kate and myself, we want to thank you all for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you again next month. Take care, everybody.
And that wraps up this episode of the US PAC On Time Courier podcast. A big thank you to our amazing guests, Liz Billias, Patrick Cardwell, and of course, our host, Kevin Beasley, for sharing their time, insights, and stories with us. We appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer in a future episode, feel free to send them to driverexperienceteam@gouspac.com. Stay safe out there, and remember, every delivery makes a difference.